What's up, everyone? How's it going? Welcome to today's pre-market analysis session. Today is Thursday, July 24th, and today's a pretty calm day. That's pretty much what I can say. Let's get straight into the news analysis. And as you can see, we don't have much news today. We only have this 8:45 period of time where we really have to worry about that news, and maybe even 9-ish as well. Because 8:45 is flash manufacturing. It's going to be pretty quick news release. If it's breaking news, it can affect the market quite a bit. If it comes out as expected, it probably will not move the market much. Same thing with 9 a.m. news. Oh, we don't even have to worry about 9 a.m. news. 9 a.m. and 9:30 we don't have to worry about. So basically just 8:45 we have to worry about. So definitely going to keep an eye on what happens at 8:45 and see how we can react. Let's just read the need to know market risk. U.S. equities futures were stable as investors sifted? U.S. equities futures were stable as investors sifted through earnings reports with Alphabet signaling strong demand for its AI products, while Tesla posted its largest revenue decline in at least a decade. Uh, okay, nothing too crazy, right? Alright, I mean, other than that, let's get straight into our technical analysis now that we've known that nothing really regarding our fundamentals is driving the market one way or another, particularly today at least. So let's hop on the 4 hour, and as you see, we are at all-time highs, and we've been on quite a run, right? After we've broken out of this range, we retraced back into that range, and now we're pumping up quite significantly again. That pretty much happens that's how the market functions during times. You typically put yourself within a range. Once that range has been broken out, you make quite a big move. Range right here, broken out, big move. This is a really big range. From here to even more. Once this range has been broken out, which could likely be there, right? We saw continuation after a rebalance of that range, continuation towards the downside. So just from the 4 hour, I am a little bit bullish, but we might see a rebalance and might go down to head to where there's a lot of volume, or you might continue up. Bookmap will likely be the one that is a driving factor in regards to direction, but let's see what we can do here. Just gonna mark out all the main key levels. You don't even have to go that far. It's quite unlikely that we head all the way down there, but we're gonna keep marking it out anyways. Yeah, I mean, recent action has been just looking up and up and up. Let's see if there's anything we can utilize regarding technicals at least. And of course, we're gonna have all these levels near the all-time highs, right? And that's just making equal highs around this relative area, which might be showing us that there might be a lot of passive sellers at this area, right? Because buyers are stepping in, but they're unable to break through. But thing I'm not too considerate about, even though there's equal highs, is because those highs are not built with volume. So it's hard to necessarily tell if there's enough volume to actually push above or even push below. That's why we're essentially ranging like this. Once there's volume, we can actually see how we react at this level. If there's passive sellers, if we'll react downwards from it, or if we have enough buying strength to push through and continue us to push through. So that's what I'm looking from there at least. But from how it looks like we did take out this lower liquidity down here. And maybe we can use that as fuel to test this upper level once again. But just have to wait and see for that once again as well. This does look to be a 1 hour that we may be bouncing off of. Market, we'll take it off if we don't see a reaction. And I'm gonna mark this out as a 1 hour as well. S- 2 hour, I already know there's a 2 hour there, so. Not seeing much else there. One hour there. Not seeing any other liquidity. I'll be honest. Nothing else we really have to work with. 1 hour here, but we're likely not getting down there in the span of 1 day. Especially in New York session 2 from where we're at. All the way down there would be quite insane, but might happen, who knows. Yeah, we are starting to see buying pressure start to occur from that area, which might push us to test this upper level, see how we react there. Now let's go on to handy dandy 30 minute. 30 minute, not noticing much there. Not noticing much there or there. Don't have to worry about 30 minute, 15 minute. Not noticing anything there. This could be a 15-minute zone. And this is with volume, so I'm gonna consider this as a 15-minute zone. You have volume at that area and a large reaction off of such. So this 15-minute would be viable to an extent. This one, I don't like the wick on that. It's more reacting to this area. And this one I am gonna mark as well as 15-minute. But that's gonna be as far as I go with 15 minutes. If we go on to the 1 hour or 30-minute, what we see is that we've been raging within this area and we've been reacting from this 1 hour, recently creating higher lows, but now we've broken that and we've swept this liquidity, but now we're starting to get aggressive buyers start to kick in. So if these aggressive buyers can continue to kick in and that's visible and clear as to how the market's moving, you might be able to take a continuation play on the longs, targeting these highs or wherever bookmap liquidity is. Or if we see that buyers are unable to hold even this area or come up to this area and then reverse, we might be able to catch a retracement play in the shorts targeting one of these levels. And that's gonna be what I'm looking for to an extent. But let's go ahead and mark out our volume profiles as well. Especially this range I want to mark at. And as you see, volume is distributed throughout, but at this area, it's a low volume node, but all we see is buyers at this area, making me think that this is a very significant area. But nothing really we can tell from that area. All we know is that volume is towards the downside, and price may prefer being lower. What do I do? It's in the recent range, volume is just down here at this 1 hour, 3 hour area. As you go up, we reduce in volume, but right now we're in all-time highs. There's not enough room for volume to be generated. So if volume starts to generate at this area and we keep consolidating at this area, staying within that range, then volume will likely generate. But if we break above, it's going to continue looking like so. So volume, we can't really gain much from the volume profile here today. But yeah, I do want to see how we reacted at these all-time high regions, and every time we've tested the different levels within this range. I'm gonna go on the 30-minute footprint to do so. We have around 2 minutes until market opens, so we will do NQ before then. Yeah, let's check out the all-time highs. And this is 15K, so it's not crazy volume, but we are seeing buyer absorption there. Right as we went to the top, large amount of volume, aggressive buying, buying got shut down, sellers came in. Now we're seeing seller absorption down here, but then that seller absorption pushed price higher. Couldn't break the all-time highs. We're seeing buyers likely get trapped here with volume, aggressive buying, aggressive volume. Now sellers are trying to kick in, but buyers are holding, potentially seller absorption. But here, buyers got absorbed, sellers were able to come in, and now they're able to come in more and more and more. Buyers are getting absorbed. What I'm seeing here is likely that passive selling barriers are moving down with price up till this region, and this region held significant for price, continuing it to move down. Here we're seeing likely seller absorption. Here we're likely seeing buyer absorption. So yeah, this range is basically a solidified range in terms of footprint action at least. I do want to see how we react in real time though and how market opens. But yeah, that's gonna be my take on this entire range in my pre-market. Let's go on to NQ and chart out a good little bit there as well. And we haven't taken out all-time highs on NQ yet. So we might push up higher, trying to take out these all-time highs simply because we're so close. We got so close, we're unable to, and now we've retraced into this fair value gap area, sure, but we might be able to use it to push upwards. That's might be what we need. But market's opening here in 10 seconds. So I'm gonna go passively view that while I'm charting NQ. Mm, We have big passive buyer on ES bookmap. Looks like we're continuing upwards. Mhm, mm, mm. Just looking at ES bookmap right now. Yeah, let's just keep going with this. Mark down till there. Nothing else really need to mark below that. Not seeing any 4-hour zones. 3-hour. Not really seeing any 3-hour zones as well. We swept this lower area, creating this lower area. Not noticing anything else except this and that 3-hour there. Three-hour right there. Mark that out. 3-hour there as well. Not seeing anything else really. Nothing else. You have 1 hour there. Nothing else I'm noticing there. Here we do have a 1 hour. Not seeing anything else so that we need to worry about. Let's see if the all-time high was in zone anytime. Nope, 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 nope. Mark it out on the 1 hour just to keep that all-time high area at like a range. 30 minute. Like we have a 30-minute zone here within volume as well, so not bad 30 minute. Not noticing anything else really on the 30 minute. Maybe that could, yeah. We are starting to see this level hold as well, which might be leading us towards the bearish side on NQ. But then again, we just have to watch to see how we expand upon market open. And right now, we're still finding that area of expansion that we need to go to. 15 minute, not really noticing much once again. Yeah, nothing else to mark out. And then around the 5 minute. So it's going to be very similar to what we see on ES, but kind of flipped around, as we have two zones at the top on the NQ and one at the bottom, while on ES we have two at the bottom and one at the top. So it does differ in that sense, but realistically, we just have to wait to see where price wants to head, and we can simply follow that simply because we're trading within a range. Just follow where price wants to head within that range, maybe reversal play from there, follow that move, see if price reverses from there, reversal play, etc. If you break out, we can take continuation plays. That's just how we're gonna model our day for the day, but that's pretty much gonna be it for today's pre-market. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comment section or join the free Discord server. Link is in the description down below. There are many resources that I highly recommend you guys to check out. Everything's completely free as well. Additionally, if you want to check out how to use order flow tools like this and the bookmap live stream for completely free, check out the links in the description as well. It's pretty good in my opinion. Addis has been a channel partner for a while and one of the most user-friendly resources that I've personally seen. There's a lot of free functionality as well. That's why I wanted to mention it, but definitely recommend you guys to check it out. But as always, do your own research. Other than that, I don't have much else to say. I'll see you guys later today for market analysis or trade recap segment, and I guess I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.